Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video. And on today's video, it's going to be another fun one. We are going to be making kind of like a Rolex type shop. I got this idea just because I thought like Monochrome-core, it's a little bit more fancy and kind of simplistic, so I wanted to stick with that theme. So I wanted to create kind of like a watch shop. I don't know if anyone's ever made this before, but I was just looking through my main accounts, kind of like catalog and looking at different items I could use, and I came across kind of like a watch display, and then I started to notice that there are little watches that you can put onto like tables and stuff, and I was like, you know what, this looks really cool. And I did find this really cool item that I wanted to use. It says like crown on it, and if you know anything about Rolexes, don't get me wrong, I definitely don't own one, but the emblem is kind of like a crown, so I thought that was really perfect, so I kind of roll with it. So that's what we'll be doing today, and thankfully we didn't have to take down too many trees on this episode. It's only this bottom area right over here. We're kind of on the right side towards the very end of like the island on Monochrome-core, so I wanted to go off of that, and what we'll be doing is just kind of expanding this out just all the way to the end. We're going to use as much room as we possibly can, just to make this build as big as we can. I don't know how big it's going to be just yet, kind of winging that, but I have a build in mind that I want to try out with it. It is a watch shop, so it doesn't have to be anything over the top like our last build that we made, but I wanted to kind of fit with the aesthetic where it's simple and kind of easy, so everyone can do it, and I don't know, I think it will work out really well. Okay, now that we build out I don't know how far exactly yet I want to go, but I'm pretty sure that this is how big I'm going to make it for right now at least. I may come back later and add to it in this video just in case I need more room for a walkway, just because down on this level here I don't know exactly what I'm going to build over here just yet, so I don't want to take up too much real estate, especially for a watch shop. So I kind of want to be generous on how much I do use, or not too generous rather, but yeah, let me know if you guys have any cool ideas I should build. Like, it can be different shops or something you might want to see in Monochrome-core. I do have quite a few ideas in mind, but if you guys have any ideas that you want me to try out, please let me know. I'm happy to look into anything or kind of go on my other account. I have another account where I can do like builds and stuff on. I just kind of flattened it, and I have all the items that I would probably need for anything, and I kind of test that out sometimes. But most of the time I come on this island and I just start building, and hopefully it looks good. But yeah, okay, so we are right beside where we built our first neighborhood, and I want to actually put this building right beside it just to make it look like it's like not digested, more like consumed in everything and like a part of one big like city. So I want to kind of go with that. First, I'm just kind of mapping out the size on what I want to go with. So I'm using the kind of like the sidewalk pathing just to go a majority of all the way around to see what size I want to go with. But now that I got that done, I did decide that I might need some more room, especially down like in the walkway, because this is kind of a weird shape. So I did keep that in mind. First, I wanted to get my terraforming up just to see how big this is going to be, and if I really did need to expand it out anymore, because you never know actually how much room that you need until your terraforming goes down, just because it is awkward because you can't build like right on the edge. I hate that. I really wish you can build just one straight wall, but you can't do that. But yeah, so this is what I'm going to be working with. I need to fill in the rest of it, but this is about the size that I'm going to be using today. Again, I think this will be a perfect size just because it does not need to be too big. Again, it's just a watch shop, so I don't need to go like over the top with it, but I do want to make it look pretty fancy just because it is going to be a Rolex shop, so I definitely want to stick with that theme. and I'm kind of go overboard on all my builds, and especially like with the pathing. Even though you all will never see this, I just want to do it. So I decided to add, again, some more sidewalk pathing on the top here just to fill it in. And plus, I feel like it'll make it look better like at the end result. So I wanted to fill it in as much as I can. Why not? And now that I got a majority of this filled in, I am trying to decide if I want to expand it out. I guess I kind of won't know until I start placing down some items. So I guess I need to start doing that first. But finally, no more of this pathing, especially, well, I guess for right now at least. But yeah, I got a lot of the goods that I needed just for right now. I always awkwardly place it the wrong way. But yeah, these wide display stands are saving grace for this build and probably for this whole island. They really do help a lot, and they reduce lag. It's a lot better than the simple panels because the simple panels add a lot of lag to an island, and so far I don't really have too much lag, which I'm really thankful for. But now we need to make kind of like a storefront, so I'm trying to figure out how I want to size this because I need to add some simple panels and some doorways. So I added a wide display stand with a little like window in it already, like I did in some of the previous builds. And then over here, I just added another wide display stand to kind of cap it off. And now I can figure out where I want to add all of my kind of like simple panels to make it look like a doorway. Kind of have some hard times figuring out what I want to do exactly. I didn't want to add like too much over here just to kind of keep with it being simple, but it may need to add just a little more things just to help. And I already did notice the walkway is way too small, so I definitely will be adding kind of another layer of terraforming just to help with the size. And I did add some, like I was saying before, simple panels that act as a doorway. I awkwardly didn't have enough simple panels, so I had to leave this with one. Don't worry though, I will time travel for another one. That was just all I had for right now. And like I was saying before, I did find these little cute like watches that you can put on display, and luckily they had the colors that I needed. This is a Rolex store, so thankfully you can put them there. And I wanted to see if I can add this like little, it's called a wooden field sign to here, but you can't. So I kind of scrapped that idea, and then I just added the glass showcase. This is the thing right here alone that made me want to do a Rolex build. So I needed to make sure I added like a display stand, and I needed to add a lot more things here, but I didn't have enough room, and I was quickly realizing that. And to show that this is kind of like a watch shop, I added the sign here instead. I never get to use these, and I feel like it was really cool. I just kind of saw this and I was like, cool, so I just used it. See, I don't know, I just feel like it looks really cool, and it definitely almost completes the build, honestly. I just really like how it looks. And I decided to stop decorating for the time being and actually expand this out. I don't know if I want to expand out one or two more. I guess we'll see what it looks like when I'm done. But yeah, I was really liking how this is turning out so far. Again, you can even see a little house right below me. I'm working with kind of a limited space here. I don't know how big I want this to be. I don't want it to be too big because, like I said before, I don't know kind of what I'm building down here just yet. So I didn't want to go over the top with it and just add way too much. So yeah, so far I'm kind of okay with the size. Again, don't really know, but yeah, so I need to fill it in rest with some more sidewalk pathing, and I needed to work on the side and also the top of the build itself, just so it doesn't look like a plain rooftop. But I wanted to find some other items to use just so I wasn't kind of copying everything I was doing previously, just to kind of change it up some. And over here on the side, I just filled it in the rest of the way with some more wide display stands. Luckily, it worked out perfectly to where it fit. I thought it was going to be kind of way too short, but it turns out it was perfect. and I didn't have to adjust all of the build that I've done previously. So thankfully that worked out. It's always nice when it does. And it was turning out really good so far. I was really pleased with it. And now we can get started working on the top bit here. Again, I wanted to kind of give it some depth like I was doing with all my other builds. So I needed to kind of work that in somehow, some way. Very typical of me placing it in the wrong way. I just turned it around, and at this point I was realizing I needed to add a lot more wide display stands. So I needed to time travel to get a lot more of those, and also get my one simple panel that I forgot to get. But I didn't want this to be kind of like straight across. I kind of wanted to give it some dimension, so I pushed it in a little bit more. But yeah, next day I kind of already time traveled to get some more items, and I didn't want it to be the same thing over and over again, like I was saying before. So I found this one, like it was like a medium wooden partition, and I just turned it black, and I feel like it looked really cool. I used this idea a long time ago at Palm Bay, and why not? Let's use it here and make it look a little bit fancier. It is a Rolex shop after all, so I wanted to stick with that theme. And I'm just going to mirror the same thing, but I'm going to push this one in, and then I'm going to add another like wood wall like right here, and another like wide display stand to kind of continue with the theme. It's kind of weird how these wood walls can just kind of stand up like that. It's like it's really small on the bottom. You think it would like tip over or something, I don't know, but it's Animal Crossing physics for you. But yeah, I really liked actually how this was turning out, and I didn't really have to add too much to fill in the rest. But I don't know, I feel like it looked a lot different, even though it was kind of off center a little bit. But it doesn't need to be perfect. All the builds don't have to be perfect. That just means we can add some more things over there to give it some more interest. So I needed to think of some more ideas to kind of put around here to help with that. I wanted to add, I added like a tank before on one of my other builds in this like monochrome series, and I wanted to kind of stick with that because it looked like it has like a little ladder growing up. I just thought that was really cool, and it made it look like you can climb up on it. I decided to add some more like pipes and stuff over on this side. I awkwardly placed it the wrong way, like I always do, but I feel like that will help cover up that gap just a lot more. Again, it'll give you something else to look at, and probably you won't even be able to see it, but why not? Let's go ahead and add it anyways. And the roof part was actually starting to come together, and this is honestly part of the more difficult part of this build, is making the top area look good, even though you won't be able to see it. And here's the tank like I was telling you about. It has this little ladder on the side. It makes it look like kind of modern, but also like a big city. I don't know, it just makes it look like a little like escape hatch or something that you can just climb on. I don't know, you have to use with what you have. So I decided to use that, and I wanted to cage off this area just a little bit more. I don't even need to cover up the back end, just because you won't be able to see it, and even if you do, you'll be able to see inside a lot more, which I want anyways. I want everything to be visible, so when you guys do come over, you'll be able to see everything, just in case you want to create it yourself too. I was one short, which was frustrating, so I had to time travel yet again, and I got another wide display stand and a whole bunch of other items to help me complete this build. Again, I wanted to go with some depth here, so I did add another like little utility pole to help with the backdrop some. I don't know even if you'll be able to see it, but just in case, if you can, you'll have something else to look at. I don't know, it helped break up all the white and stuff too that you've been looking at. And now I have this little walkway, and what I wanted to do was just kind of cage it off. You won't be able to get back here anyways, so I just wanted to put a little fence, and then I'm going to use some ash trees to help it with some greenery. I don't know, I really like doing this. I built some alleyways already with my little first neighborhood, and I really liked how that turned out, so I wanted to replicate that over here too. And it helps breaks up like kind of all the monochrome. Even though, you know, we're supposed to stick with that theme, it does have a black border, so we'll let it slide. And while I was running over here too, I was trying to decide if I wanted to expand this out once again, just because it was a little too small. There's my simple panel, I forgot. But it was looking just a little too small. I didn't want to leave this walkway too small. I want everyone to be able to walk over just comfortably. So I did opt to expand this out once more, just to kind of help me put some more items down too. It just didn't look right in my head. And if the build that I'm going to build down here needs to be bigger, we'll just kind of roll with it and wing it like I always do. We'll make something work out. So expanding this out once more, and now what we need to do is decorate the sidewalk path. I want to add just enough to make it filled in, but not overdoing it. Again, this Monochrome-core is all about minimalist and kind of making everything look filled in with as little items as possible. It's really fun, actually. I didn't think I would enjoy doing that, but it's kind of cool, and it's really easier on me because I don't have to get, a lot of items, especially if you're doing like any type of like Japanese style core and stuff. You need all kinds of items, so this is a nice little break from that. And so this is a Rolex shop, so I wanted it to be a little bit fancier. So I wanted to add a lot of like these rope like fences or rope partitions. I wanted to see what I could do with that, but I didn't know how I was going to kind of implement that into the build, just because it was a smaller area. And I really like how I've been using different fence types. It kind of adds a lot to the build, and I don't know, it just makes everything look a lot more interesting. So I needed to figure out how I was going to incorporate that into the build. I thought I was going to put it over here, but I didn't like how it was kind of leaving this awkward area. Since it's really close to the beach, I didn't want your eyes just to go to the beach. I wanted to trick everyone's eyes so you're not looking at that, because I won't be decorating the beach. And yeah, I didn't even know if I liked it right here, but I kind of did, and I didn't want to remove that. Again, I kind of wanted to make sure this looks a little bit more fancier, so I wanted to stick with that theme. So I just scooted these down just half a block more, and it gave you a bigger walkway to go in, just so you're not like sliding in. And I was actually liking how that was turning out. And I thought I could just fill in this area over here just with some stuff to give it some more height. But I certainly realized afterwards that it was not going to work out the way I wanted it to. So I kind of scrapped that and decided to do something else. It just looked kind of awkward to me, and it just wasn't flowing like how I wanted it to. So I had to kind of think about that. I thought if I pushed it in just a little bit more, it could kind of cage it off. But it did not work out like I thought it would. So I decided that I needed like a little sitting area just to, I don't know, I feel like it would help it out a little bit, and plus give it some height. Why not? So I scrapped up all that stuff I placed down previously, and I found a bistro table. I feel like this is an old trusty here. It looks modern and looks nice, and it has like a little green pot on top of it with like a little book and coffee. Why not? I just wanted to use this instead, and it helps fill in the area just a little bit more, and it has like kind of an off-white to kind of separate all the other whites I've been using, and I can still use the rope fence that I really liked. I didn't think I'd have enough space for it, but I did, and I was really happy by that. And over here I wanted to add a plastic bench just to cover up this like other like wall area. I don't know, I feel like it will help a lot. And plus, if you come over here, you can have a seat. I didn't want to use a black one. I wanted to use a white one. Again, just to break up all the colors and stuff I've been using, because that's really important. But yeah, now that we're done, let's go ahead and do our final walkthrough. And that wraps up today's watch build. I really hope you guys did enjoy today's build. It was a really cool one, kind of an awkward area, but I feel like everything worked out. And you can actually even see the utility pole I was worried about. But man, again, another cool, unique build. If you guys are struggling with a little build to make, hopefully this can help you all out. Again, if you guys have any recommendations on any type of build you might want to see, leave it down in the comments below. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and if you did like today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and until next time.